9:50 a.m. The Ticket.
All right, our video audience, what's up? Welcome. Our video segment every day is brought to you by the Dollar Loan Center, funding loans for 25 years at don'tbebroke.com. Quick, inexpensive, safe, regulated, and thrilled to be opening. How about this? 16 locations soon in Idaho. You can apply online for up to $5,000 at don'tbebroke.com for a limited time. Your first loan is even free. Again, our video audience, good stuff. Prater caught up with Ahmed Hassanein today. And, hopefully in the future this year, people like me won't be butchering this guy's name anymore because it's going to be household with this football team, man.
That's what he expects. I mean, this dude couldn't speak English 5 years ago. You're going to hear him talk about that. And in 3 years, he wants to be an elite football player. And he's got such charm about him that he told this story today that just kind of blew us away.
He kind of reminded me a little bit of George Tarlis last year, and he's playing the same position now this year, Prater. He was a D tackle. They've moved him to defensive end. And I want you guys to listen to this cat because when you hear him speak, it certainly doesn't sound like he just learned the English language 5 years ago. This is a special kid, Bronco Nation. And I started with the question today, asking Ahmed Hassanein if he right now feels finally like a football player. I asked him, you feel like a football player yet? Or, you still feel like the guy who I've only played for a couple of years now?
The answer is yes. The coaches, they've been on me with everything. Recognizing situations, recognizing it's a pass, run, seeing where I'm at the field. Is it short? Is it medium? Is it long? So recognizing, looking at the sticks, getting the call, just feeling a lot more confident in just where I'm at.
Again, lots to get to here with Hassanein. He talked about his confidence there. How does he grow his confidence level?
Getting experience. That's the biggest thing for me. It's just because I'm the kid that came from Egypt, really didn't know anything about football. I'm just kid taking it step by step and looking at my mentors and so George, Scotty, Meech, all these people, looking at them and learning from them and just applying it to my game.
If you guys have ever listened to Andy Avalos, one of his favorite sayings is the care factor. He talks about the care factor of his football team, the players, the coaches, the staff. And if you have the care factor, you can be a really good football player. Well, Ahmed Hassanein talked about why he cares about football so much.
I love my teammates. My whole family are back in Egypt. I only have a brother, Corey, that's here, but my whole family are back in Egypt. So this is all I have. This is my family. This is my everything. And I'll do whatever it takes to just protect my family and do what helps my defense.
Would you consider yourself a leader on this team now? If so, what's your leadership style?
I'm kind of in the process of being a leader, but I won't say I'm a leader yet because there's older guys and these guys have so much respect and I look up to them. But I won't say I'm a leader yet, but I'm in the process of being a leader, yes.
All right, here's where the story gets fun. And you guys know that he's from Egypt. The sports information department at Boise State told us the full athletic season before COVID, there were 77 Division I athletes playing, competing, not just football, but competing in American sports. And he was the only football player that we know of. So not a lot of Egyptian athletes, especially playing football. His whole journey started in Cairo, where his family's still from. So he took his, he goes to Egypt every May. And this is kind of why he describes why it's important for him to take that trip every single year.
Sometimes you got to go visit the family and tell them what you're doing. And there's so many people in Egypt that look up to me and you're okay, because I'm the first D1 level that ever plays at Boise State. So a lot of people go up to me and are wow. I'm guys, I'm not a big thing, but they come up to me and you're well, how did you do it? How did you? And I'll be able to share my knowledge and share what I know and share what my coaches taught me and my team has taught me. So it's a big thing to go visit the family and see my sisters, see my brothers, and just be around the family.
Again, this is Ahmed Hassanein, Boise State defensive end, edge, and entering I think his third season with the program. Prater
this year and next year.
Still has 2 years of eligibility left as well. And maybe you're listening right now. Maybe you're from a foreign country, and I don't know what type of pride you would have if you were the only or the first to play Division I football in America from your country. But that's where Ahmed Hassanein is, and we'd asked him, how prideful is that for you?
It's huge. It's huge. It's huge that little kids look up to me and just like be like, okay, I want to be like him one day. To have that responsibility and have that like people look up to me because I was one of them, and just to like be able to be like, hold on, let me get a second. To be able to like look up to me, like that's a huge thing for me.
All right, here's what happened in May. Actually, it happened way before May, where he stood up and said, hey, any of my teammates want to go to Egypt with me? I go every year in May. Well, only one stood up, and it was his roommate, Marco Notareni. He's a linebacker, really hasn't played much. We met him for the first time today out of Torrey Pines area in San Diego. I think he's going to be a really good linebacker, and he was really fun to talk to as we get to know him. But Marco stood up, raised his hand, and said, hell yeah, I'm going to Egypt with you. And this is Ahmed talking about him and Marco going to Egypt and having a little fun.
Marco was the guy that came with me. I'm really like grateful to like he came with me. So he's just like to be able to experience different lifestyle, different culture, taking him places, just seeing the pyramids, getting inside the pyramids. It was good for him to just see where I came from, and we had a lot of fun.
Now your family's coming in September. Who's coming, and what do they want to see?
They just want me to see do good, and they want to see Hassanein on my back because it's like my family name, and just they're really proud of me no matter what. My sisters are coming, and my dad is coming too. My dad was like, okay, I'm gonna wait until you're a starter, and then I'll be there. So he's coming this year. I'm really grateful that he'll be there.
You got to start, Sonny boy. These tickets are pricey. I'm going from Cairo, Egypt to Boise, Idaho.
And I'm not buying a ticket to watch you sit on the bench.
Man. You better step up and start here. Again, we talked about this 5 years ago. He did not know one word of the English language, Ahmed Hassanein. And you're listening to him talk. I mean, this is what amazed me. This was my biggest takeaway. So we had to ask him about it when he said, hey, I didn't speak any English 5 years ago. I had to follow up and be like, wait, backtrack. Are you serious on that? And yeah, he was.
You're going to see a little bit of accent there, but just being able to because my brother's an English teacher, so he's been helping me a lot and just explain, taking extra lessons, and my roommate's been helping me a lot with everything and just talking wise. And I'd be like, Ahmed, that's not wrong. The thing that I don't understand still to this day is sarcasm. I don't get sarcasm at all. So this is the big thing for me.
He'd get along really well with my girlfriend, man. She has the worst when it comes to sarcasm, Prater. I still pull one over on her constantly.
Yeah, you don't go there with the girlfriend. That's probably not a good idea. All right, guys, let's have some fun now. We saved the last two sound bites for the very end here, and these are my two favorites.
Yeah,
and I know you love them too. This is him talking about. Well, we'll just explain it one at a time. This one is about his expectations, his future, his potential, and a little thing called the NFL.
It's time. It's time to get going. It's developing all these years, watching these mentors doing the great stuff. Now it's time for me to just step into that role and just do what I do. And I've been practicing really hard, and coach has been really on me on everything, technique, fundamentals, scheme, all that. So it's time for me to just let loose.
All right.
Well, yeah, we missed that one. We had a bad edit there and missed that. He goes on and talks about in the NFL. He just doesn't want to go to the NFL, guys. He wants to be elite. He used the word elite in the NFL, and he wants to take that back to Egypt and tell everybody, I'm an elite NFL football player working and living in the United States, and I'm coming back to Egypt. It's really important for him to do that. So we'll see if we can maybe dig up that soundbite. It was pretty important about the NFL. But one more quick soundbite.
Yeah, that kind of reminded me of George Tarlas again. Remember, we had George Tarlas last year as the transfer, and he kept talking NFL, and here we are. He's in Raiders camp right now. So Ahmed Hassanein wants that path as well. And like George Tarlas, he said, I don't like quarterbacks. I eat them for breakfast. I eat them for lunch. Ahmed Hassanein, does he like quarterbacks?
I never liked quarterbacks, really. It's just for me, it's just like they have a really tough position and really tough mentally, but you got to respect the trenches. The trenches, that's where everything happens. And I like my quarterbacks, but I just don't like other quarterbacks.
He likes his quarterbacks, especially the one driving the badass truck in the parking lot there, Taylor Green. Prater, speaking of NIL with Taylor Green, I would imagine like this kid, and I don't know what NIL opportunities come from, and he is not he wasn't born in Egypt. This is how weird it is. He was born in California, moved to Egypt when he was a tiny little baby. So he is an American citizen. So he can get all NIL opportunities. You'd think if there was some opportunity for him to, I don't know, to make good on his background and where he's from, I don't know, maybe like an Egyptian restaurant or something around this town, you would think with the way he talks and his attitude there, he could be an NIL person's dream on this team this year, Prater.
Get a couple sacks.
Yes.
Bring home a couple bags of cash.
Yes, man. Good stuff. What are your thoughts on Ahmed Hassanein? And maybe he is your breakout player. If not him, who is it? Who's the big breakout player on Boise State this season? Text us 208-424-9300. How about two former Boise State players had an NFL workout today? It worked out for one, but not the other. Find out who these former players are. JP, you got him. It's Prater on the Ballgame, Idaho Sports Talk, KTIK, The Ticket.
This is Idaho Sports Talk.